Hey, it is a grown woman's perspective with Rochelle, and I am Rochelle. I want to say welcome to my page. We're going to be here. We're going to be reviewing the things that hit your screen, whether it's TV shows, whether it's movies, whether it's things going on online, whatever it is that comes to me that interests me, I'm going to be reviewing it. And of course, I'm going to want your feedback on other things that you want me to review from my perspective. A grown woman. What do I mean by that? Over 40. Yeah, over 40. So if you resonate with that, then go ahead, hit the thumbs up on this video, and definitely you're going to want to subscribe to this page because you never know what's going to happen over here. We are going to have a ton of fun. Now, with that out of the way, we're going to be talking about Love and Marriage Huntsville today. Now, I don't know if you watched this show, but I've actually been watching this show since the very beginning, and we have seen some transitions. We've seen some things happen. It's been very interesting. And so what we got a chance to see last season, there were some things that, of course, spilled over from the previous season and from the reunion that were very interesting. But just before we got to some of the good stuff in the season, production had to shut down because of COVID. Now, things have been able to resume, and I think that we're going to have a full season of drama. So let's jump into what happened in episode number 1 of Love and Marriage Huntsville. I have some notes here, so if you see me looking down, that's what I'm doing. But we got a chance to see Maurice. He actually put on a town hall meeting. He wanted to discuss the state of Black people in business. He wanted to talk a little bit about, what has been going on in terms of social injustice, in terms of the Black Lives Matter movement. And he wanted to talk about, where are we as a people when it comes to business? Are we still being shut out of things? And how can we begin to help each other? And mentor each other, and one person reach down and bring the other people or the other person up. So the town hall meeting seemed like it was a very productive meeting. Of course, we only get bits and pieces of other people and what they have to say, but it seems like it had the potential to be a very productive meeting. Of course, social distancing and masks, and only a few people were there, but it seems like it was the start to something great. Then we move on to see Melodie. Melodie, of course, if you don't know, is probably the most popular person on this particular show. Her and her husband, of course. And we got a chance to see what we all have learned on Instagram and YouTube and all over social media, and that is that her and her husband Martell have split up. And Melodie moved from Huntsville, Alabama to Atlanta. It looks like she's staying with her brother, her half brother. We met him last season. They're actually talking about, just the fact that she moved and how life has changed and what's going on as far as the kids going from house to house and things of that nature. And we also got a chance to see that Martell, because they were kind of going back and forth in the scene. Martell was talking to his mom, Melodie was talking to her brother, and we got a chance to see that Martell is still holding on to the fact that he was justified in his cheating. He was justified in this other relationship that he started because Melodie was not doing what she needed to do to please him. And so therefore, since she stopped taking care of him, that's why he cheated. Okay, so we know that Martell has kind of been on that bandwagon through trying to repair and restore his marriage, through therapy because he had gotten a therapist last season, and he still is on that same bandwagon that it's not his fault, it's somebody else's fault. Then we get to move on to LaTisha. She is trying to manage this whole homeschooling thing. And I kind of like that they are showing a lot of different aspects because really this is what people are dealing with. If you have, I said homeschooling, but what I really meant is virtual school. It is schooling from home, but not technically homeschooling, right? If you have kids that are in school, you can relate to the virtual homeschooling. Now, she's in school and all 3 of her kids are in different grades in school. And so she's trying to manage that. And her husband, Marsau, he comes in and he's like, look, I need an assistant, but I want a female that's fit. I want her to be a millennial. And she's like, oh, okay, 2 can play that game. I think I'm going to get me a Manny. So she now wants somebody to assist her, but she wants a male. you know that neither one of these things are going over, right? These are all jokes and all fantasy because neither one of them is going to allow the other one to have what they're asking for. Okay, so now we go back to Martell and he says, oh, I see who Melodie truly is. No, sir. No, sir. What he's seeing is who he made her out to be, who he made her be, because you can't expect to have an affair, a whole relationship, and now I guess baby on the way. That was the last thing I heard about it. And think that somebody is still supposed to be a sweet person to you. So what you're seeing is what you created, and now that is what she is displaying towards you. He says he goes to their mutual friend Destiny's house. We got introduced to her, and she has her newborn baby and everything now, her new home, her new marriage. And he's talking to Destiny, and Destiny's like, listen, don't expect me to be on your side with this. Like, I'm a woman and I know what you've done and it's not right. So I love the fact that she's not trying to act like what he's saying is fine when she's talking to him, and then doing the opposite when she's talking to Melodie. So I love that. He insinuates that Melodie is seeing someone else. So, I mean, if she is and they're separated, then, you know, whether it's right or wrong, so be it. Let's not try to brush this thing under the rug about this whole relationship that you have and have had for all of this time with this girl. And he also says that Melodie never forgave him. But what I have seen, this is my commentary, he truly never apologized. Like, when you keep trying to say, but you weren't pleasing me, you weren't doing what I needed you to do, you weren't doing what I asked of you sexually, well, then you never truly have been sorry. And you have never really stopped seeing this girl. So where was your sorry where you want this forgiveness? I'm not understanding that. And again, he strongly believes, he said it to his mom and he's saying it to Destiny, that there was a good reason for him to cheat. Well, Destiny jumps in and she sets him straight. She lets him know that, no, bro, this ain't going down like this. You're wrong. And I'm not going to be here to coddle you or make you feel that you're right. Then we go ahead and go over back to LaTisha and Marceau, and they just learned that Biden chose Harris to be his running mate. They are so pumped and really, really excited. And Marceau admits, and when she begins to talk about, now our daughter gets to look and know that she can be anything that she wants, the president, the vice president, whatever. And he actually says, I never thought about this from a woman's perspective. I'm like, bro, okay. You have a whole daughter, a whole wife, mother, sister, and you've never thought of these things from a woman's perspective. Guys, come on. We have to get a little bit more empathetic, I guess it would be, to other people's plight and to other people's position. So I didn't quite understand that, but okay, hopefully now this opens him up and gives him an opportunity to see things from a woman's perspective. Now, while they're in their office where they're doing their build out for their cigar shop, Martell stops in. And to me, I find this very interesting because what I'm seeing a pattern here. So he has messed up with his wife. His wife has finally left him, even though she's been putting up with it for a very long time. Now he's going to his mom's house. He's gone to Destiny's house. And now here he is going over to Marceau and LaTisha's spot. Now, these are people that he refused to speak to last season. He refused to be around. He was threatening to basically beat Marceau up. And now that he realizes that he is out here by himself without his wife, now he's going around to try to make friends with everybody. To me, that is ridiculous, right? But here's the thing. Even through all of this, he's still trying to point the finger at them and not take responsibility for what he did. I don't get this. To me, this is the pure definition of narcissism. You're trying to, quote unquote, make up and make amends, but you're still pointing the finger at other people. It makes no sense. But I love that LaTisha spoke up, and she told Martell that, she didn't appreciate what he said about her husband because that had a direct impact on their relationship. When he said that, Marceau had slept with 20 women, that had an impact on their relationship. Of course it did, right? And then here's the crazy thing. Martell actually blamed Melodie for misleading him. How, bro, did she mislead you when you said that you had the proof that Marceau had slept with 20 women? Now, again, you're pointing the finger. There's something seriously wrong with this brother. He needs help. And then Marceau had to force an apology out of Martell. How? How are you there to make amends and someone has to force you to apologize? I'm like, just get out. There's nothing for us to talk about at this point. And Marceau, I don't think that he's buying it. I'm definitely not buying it. I don't trust this man. I wouldn't touch him with a 10-foot pole. No way, no how. There's something wrong. So now Melodie actually returns to Huntsville from Atlanta because she's there to spend the time with her kids. Now it's her turn. She goes and visits their friend Destiny first. They have a quick workout, and her and Destiny are talking just about some of the things that's going on. She's a new wife and mom, like I said. And Destiny begins to talk about how her husband, LaBarrick, is not very helpful with the baby, and that, she just feels like he's checked out. And Melodie is like, no, ma'am, y'all have to get it together. Like, this is a recipe for disaster. Whatever y'all need to do, y'all need to get it together. And she's right. And she doesn't want her friend to be in a position where now she's going through what she herself is going through. Is talking to Destiny and confiding in her, and basically is saying what I said. He's a narcissist. She didn't use those words. Those are my words. But she's like, our anniversary passed. He didn't call me and then called me the next day and said, why didn't you call to wish me a happy anniversary? What, bro? Are you crazy? There's something wrong with this man. Trust me when I tell you. And I think from the preview of the season, it's going to get a lot worse before it gets better. And then she goes to the house. He had agreed to leave and he's still there. She's like, why are you here? Why haven't you packed your stuff and gotten out? He's basically like, he's not leaving, which he has always said. They get into a heated argument. And then he threatens her that he is going to try to sue her for full custody. She goes off. She's like, I'll knock you in your mother face. And I can see how that he's like, I don't want my kids around this negativity. She's like, yo, you are causing her to be negative. You're causing her to act like this. You're causing her to go off. Anybody has their limit. And I think that she's reached her limit. And although we have seen her be mean and nasty throughout this show, I truly believe that if we had seen her before, that she probably wasn't the person that she is now in the show. I mean, this man has put her through a tremendous amount. He's embarrassed her, and it's a small town. Everybody knows about this affair. It's been on and off. He's been seeing this girl. He's been flaunting her around. There's all kinds of audios and videos, and then he gets the girl pregnant and he leaves and he comes back. Like, when you have someone putting you through all of that, I would imagine that it could cause you to be flipping out and acting out. And so we've seen her be mean and nasty on the show. We've seen glimpses of sweetness, but we've seen her mostly be mean and nasty. But I believe it's because of what he's put her through. And so I just hope that she's finding some comfort and some solace being away from him now. And I hope that they can work out what they need to work out in terms of visitation for the kids, because they have really, really little kids. Like, she literally just had a baby, probably under 2 years old. So they have a long way to go in this process. And I hope that they can get this all worked out and be able to co-parent and coexist. And then, he's like, I don't want you having my kids around your friend. And she's like, and I don't want you having your kids around her. I mean, my kids around our kids. Either way, it's our kids around her. And so they kind of go back and forth like that. But honey, this trailer that they showed for the remainder of this season looks like it is going to be so electric and electrifying that I don't want to miss a single episode. I'm not going to miss a single episode. And if you watch this, I suggest you don't miss a single episode. But if you do miss an episode, then you can always come back here because I'm going to be filling you in on all the things that happen on each and every episode. So what you want to do is, of course, you want to like this video, and you definitely want to subscribe to this channel, because if there's anything that you missed, your girl Rochelle is going to be here to fill you in on exactly what that is. So thank you for joining me. Meet me down in the comments, because we're definitely going to discuss this more down in those comments. I'm going to reply to each and every one of you. Cannot wait to see you on the other side. Thanks for joining me. See you on the next video. Bye.